the bottles getting nippy up the crackin'. We stacking chips, all of it's what I want. Plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone. I prefer elevated public sports radio. Time to get educated, get produced. Leave the juice, letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call it truth. They getting slaughtered. Can't forget Jeff and low baggers in the chat. That's a lethal weapon cause we be pubbing.
Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Pub Sports Radio. Today is Tuesday, October 10th, and we got the NHL regular season starting up today. Once again, one more year, we're going to be back at it today with a special guest, Mr. Gokster. Love to hear his breakdowns of all the NHL teams. I'm sure he's 100% prepared for this season. Also, we got college football on Tuesday starting up today. I looked at all three games pretty in-depth. Got a pick in all three of them. Two of them I'm liking a lot. One of them a little bit less so, but liking the games on Tuesday in college football today. And, of course, we got MLB playoff games. We're going to talk about that with Jose Bouquet. Baltimore down 2-0. Are they a good bet to avoid a sweep? I don't know. I think so. We'll see. We'll see what Jose Bouquet has to say. And the comment section has to say it's going to be a short but fun show. NHL back. College football on Tuesday is back. Let's get to the comment section and shoot the shit for about 90 seconds. And then get into the handicapping. Everyone, please comment on whatever you think is, let's see. Control Your Vessel says, I just got my tickets for Blackhawks Pens. Very nice. Yeah, that's an inch game. God, we're going to hear the early games in the NHL regular season, of course, can have some great betting value. We've seen that in past years on this show. Maybe they will again. Let us know what you think. Mr. Gokster will certainly let us know what he thinks. Philly Eagle Flyer, great to see you in the comment section. And Raymond Reichart says, I took Jacksonville State plus 6.5. Yes, that is one of the bets that I like in that one. Also liking the under in that game. Jeffrey Moore likes the Kraken at plus money. Penguins in regulation. Yeah, we'll talk about all this. We'll talk about all this. I'm going to copy and paste what you're all commenting here, and then we'll bring it up when we go over those exact games. Key and VP Eats and Travels. Blackhawks for me tonight. Maybe so. Yeah, very tempting to go that way. Huge underdog line for the Blackhawks with Connor Bedard coming back. With Connor Bedard making his debut. Unbelievable. I'm not exactly sure what trigger to pull on that game, if any. But I don't know, man. Huge underdog line for the Blackhawks. All right. Sammy Culmer. Shout out to Sammy Culmer. Everyone follow him on Twitter and look at his tennis plays. I know I do. Justin McElvey likes the over in the Penguins game. Okay. Philly Eagle Flyer tweeted out his NHL card. And Justin McElvey, the stacks play of the day. Astros team total over 3.5. Very interesting. Astros team total over. I was thinking about the under in that one, but we'll see. Let me get my sheets up here, see if anyone else has any comments that I want to make sure to copy and paste. And then we're going to start with NHL with Gokster in 1 minute. Darren Turner likes the over in the Penguins game. Look at this. McElvey and Darren Turner both liking the over in the Penguins game. Look at that. Con Slips liking the over in Louisiana Tech, Middle Tennessee. Yeah. I was thinking I don't think I'm going to touch the total. I was leaning under. That's a tough one. We'll talk about it. I don't think I'm going to touch the under on that one. I don't think I'm going to touch the total on that one. Leaning under, though, definitely liking Middle Tennessee. That might be a mistake, but on a neutral field, probably Louisiana Tech, the better team, but I took Middle Tennessee. We'll talk about that when we get to it. Londo needs baseball winners tonight. Londo needs college football winners tonight. We'll do our best there, Londo. We'll do our best there. All right. That's enough bullshitting around. I think we can get into it. To Jose Bouquet, drop in for a second, if you don't mind.
What's
Jose
up,
Bouquet,
Pedro?
drop in for. Yeah. You think we should bullshit around for a little bit more, or are we ready to go?
Oh, I think people are on their edge of their seat because they haven't seen this guy in a long time. Pete, I think they haven't seen this next guest in a long time, and we're ready to talk a little sticky puck, and I'm excited to hear about it.
Yeah, what's going on at Pub Sports Radio? Because I'll tell you what, this past week was classic. In the middle of the week, I had pretty much everything fairly well figured out, and then overthought myself, saw other people disagreeing with me and changed my opinions, screwed up my whole football week, Jose Bouquet. I should not still be doing that at my age, but I did it this past week. In both NFL and college.
I'm Dr. 3-2, Pete, in the cappers contest. I'll tell you, I just keep going nice. 3-2, 3-2. Did you, Pete? You want to hear something funny? And I don't know if the viewer or the participant of the cappers contest is in the show, but we had a serious email this weekend asking if Jeff Slaughter, shout out to Jeff, his picks. He thought that this name was just an AI making picks, and he was like, how do I know this is a real person and not some computer generated thing? And it was one of the funniest things I have read all weekend. So shout out to Jeff Slaughter, so good right now in the NFL that he might even be an android sent here from the future making picks on NFL plays. Who knows?
I was looking at this AI thing that some people are talking about now this past week, and it did influence what I did. This fucking AI. It's been a while since I've met a human being as stupid as this AI was. This AI called for like a Carolina blowout win, Dallas blowout win, all sorts of shit. You know, if Jeff Slaughter is doing very well in this contest, the first thing I would think is he's probably not using AI, because the AI I've seen has been incredibly stupid, at least in NFL, at least these past few weeks. But I'm sure it's going to be way smarter than all of us very, very soon. Probably as soon as like 2025. But as of right now, I need to be trusting myself more than these stupid ass AI fucking programming generated fucking shit. Unfucking believable, Jose. Unfucking believable. I would have had a great week in football, but wound up just overthinking myself every day, like Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and Sunday, and then screwed up the whole week. But I'm not going to overthink myself today, so I think we're going to have a pretty good show. What do you think, Jose Bouquet?
I think it's going to be exciting. You know, I can't wait to hear your college football plays. Ultimately, we've got 2 good playoff games and a great game last night that hopefully we see more of tonight.
For real. All right, let's get into it. It's NHL, and the NHL means only one thing, only one person. So glad to have him back, Mr. Gokster. Welcome back to the show, helping us break it all down, Mr. Gokster. I don't have to ask this, but just I'll ask it as a formality. Are you fully prepared for this NHL season? You've done all your research on all the teams and everything?
Oh, buddy, absolutely. You know it, Pete. Like hockey backyard. I actually just figured out, Pete. There's listen to this, guys. There's an AHL team. Or there's an NHL team this season that does not have an affiliate. Can you believe that? There's an AHL team. They went independent, Pete. So they're saying, you know what? Screw the AHL. We're going to go independent. That's the Chicago Wolves. Get that off there right at the top, guys. So there's a team I'll get to at the end of the show here, so stay tuned. But one of these teams, guys, do not have an AHL affiliate. Just found out it's going to be huge. It's going to cause problems for this team because all their players are going to be on loan all over the world, right? And their veterans, they don't have anywhere to go. So it's a real sticky situation for some teams this year. But Pete, I am ready to go. I am fired up, brother.
You're ready? Okay.
I am ready to
go. Tim Montana BX saying, Mike. Some funny shit coming in the comments section here. Some funny thing coming in the comments section here. Oh shit! Look at this. Oh shit! Dan Kelly with a nice comment. Look at it. Hey Pete, equals in all caps. Never forget you are the greatest. Next to Muhammad Ali, of course. Well, I'll take it, Dan Kelly. I'm not going to turn down a compliment like that. Huge shout out to Dan Kelly. Dan Kelly, if you got anything on today's games, please help us out, because we definitely still need the help on all these games. All right, let's get into it. Mr. Gokster, let me get all my fucking crap here all aligned and all my spreadsheets and all my notes and everything. All right, let's start off. You ready? Mr. Gokster. Nashville, Tampa Bay. The basics here, right? No Vasilevsky for Tampa Bay. Guy who's replacing him, Jonas Johansson, who his overall statistics in the NHL are not that good. But his most recent NHL statistics are a lot better with Colorado. His few preseason games were great. So maybe this guy is ready to be a good replacement. Nashville, a new program, not exactly sure what to make of them. New GM, new coach, a young group. They made some offseason changes. What exactly will we get from them? I'm not sure, but I'm looking at, and of course, Tampa Bay is a significant favorite here, minus, in the minus 160s. The total is 6.5 juice to the under. I'll see where the line has moved, if at all. But I'm not exactly sure what to make of Nashville right now. My lean would be to the under on this one. I definitely haven't bet it. I want to hear what you have to say about this one. But I'm thinking that I'm a believer in this Jonasson guy. And, why not? I think that the under 6.5 if the line isn't too big, if the odds aren't too drastic. Might be a good bet. What's your take on Nashville, Tampa Bay, Mr. Gokster?
Yeah, I kind of lean in the same way with you there, Pete. I'm going to go over some offseason acquisitions for these teams. So Nashville, they signed O'Reilly. Used to play for Toronto for 1 year. Didn't work out. Get him out of Dodge. He's now on centering the first line with Forsberg and Perssonen, Juuso, guy they called up as well. They've also picked up Luke Shen, Tyson Barrie, Nyquist. They lost Ryan Johansson and Duchesne, Pete. So they lost two big players. They're kind of bringing up a lot of young guys, that being who was it there? It was Parsons, Tomasino, and Evan. I call him Evan. Is Evan Glestina. You guys know how I pronounce last names are brutal, but they got a lot of young guys, Pete, with a new coach, Andrew Burnett. You guys know him. He used to play for Florida. Just great regular season coach. Playoffs, he struggled, but this is a tough game. I think it's going to be a tighter game, to be honest, Pete. With Tampa Bay here, they lost Cole, Smith, Killorn, Bellemere, and Elliott. No big names. The coffee's really kicking in, as you can tell. Ty Mott, DeHaan, Glenn Denning, Johansson, and Sherry are their additions. So no real big names for Tampa Bay that they got. Sherry will help their depth, but in this game, it's not a game I'm really high on, to be honest, this one there, guys, but I do have a pick on all three. That's just what I do. I can't help myself. Where I'm looking here, Pete, they played 6 games since 2021. I know this is the first game of the year in which I think this is going to help the under. They are 4-2 in their last 6 games since 2021 to the under in the first period. So that's going to be where I'm going to be looking here, guys. Tampa Bay also had a really bad season last year. They couldn't do it against Toronto. I'm thinking they're going to, without Vasilevsky, Pete, I'm not sure how Johansson's going to do it, how he's going to do it. You talked about the 2 preseason games. That's huge. He had 2 shutouts there against Carolina and Florida. So I think he's ready coming into the season. Just how he's going to be for the next, 2 months? Because he had disc surgery there on his back, Vasilevsky. So who knows how he's going to be coming back as well. Lower scoring games are going to have, this is one of the best defensive teams with Sergachev and Hedman. So look for them to hold the fort, in my opinion. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. I am in agreement with you, but I'm taking plus 120, Pete. First period under 1.5. That's going to be my call here. And I do also lean to the under full game. I want to see how Johansson looks here, because it is going to be his first NHL game as a starter for the next, foreseeable future until Vasilevsky gets back. So I think he's going to be all right in the first period. But as the game goes on, I kind of want to watch. But I do lean to the under 6.5. It's a pretty high line.
No, I hear you. All right, I'll start off. I'll make that an official play as well. I'm a believer. Yeah, I think it's going to be, a little bit of a tough game. Both of these teams, again, a new system for Nashville. No Vasilevsky for Tampa Bay. I'm going to take the under 6.5 minus 108. Is the current line at Pinnacle. Under 6.5 minus 108. Sammy Culmer leans under, but pass. Darren Turner leans under, but Billy Friedrich says, I like goals in this one. Okay. He doesn't necessarily specifically say more than 6.5. Yeah, but that's what he's implying there, man. I don't like to go against Billy Friedrich. 6.5 minus 108. We'll take a shot with that. Once again, my life change for the near future is to trust myself a little bit more than I trust anything. Commenters, AI, anything. Fucking splits, public sharp money splits, anything. No, I'm kidding around. I still trust people like Billy Friedrich. It's mostly AI that I'm not going to start. I'm going to start not trusting. But Billy Friedrich likes goals in this one. Okay, but Darren Turner, other people leaning under as well. Man, it's so tough. I forgot how tough NHL is. What'd you say?
One more thing, Pete. I want to give you a couple more stats here. They were 1-4 Nashville in the preseason. They didn't have a great preseason, so I do think with this new coach, they're gonna come out with a good performance here. It's going to be just Saros. He didn't look the greatest in the preseason, guys. He had 3 games, 76 of 82, allowed 6 goals. So that's why he didn't take the full game. I do think the 5:30 start with the new coach, the last thing I see Nashville doing is getting down like 2-0 here. And then with Johansson being in net, Tampa Bay just kind of, I don't see them they're going to play their style of hockey. And that's for the most part defensive, not putting your goaltender in bad situations. Tampa Bay is great at that, especially blocking pucks. We all know that. So I do like the under here. Nashville could be live in their first game here, but I'm going to stay off the side. Stronger feel to the under, especially first period.
Yeah, interesting stuff. Nate Dog 420 says this could be a 4-3 game. Teams want to come out and start strong. Control your vessel. Preds are in rebuild mode. Yes, that's true. Tampa still has enough of the chore. Give me the Bolts. And look at this. Where is he? Where I saw Clint Diehard MMA podcast says Preds starting the season off with a dig. All right, let's move on, Mr. Goldster. Chicago, Pittsburgh. Here we go. Once again, Pittsburgh with. I'm sorry.
This is the game of the night, Pete. Everyone will have their eyes on this one. The young stud out of Vancouver here.
Right. Game of the night. Number 1 pick, Connor Bedard makes his debut for Chicago, and Pittsburgh continues to, have Crosby and everyone, betting all their chips on them. But they did have kind of an active offseason, right? They revamped their bottom 2 lines, so that will probably pay some dividends for Pittsburgh. A huge line here, though, minus 220 or so. Total is 6.5, juice to the under. Again, the debut of Connor Bedard. I don't know what to make of this game. I think I will pass unless you make a strong case for taking Chicago. Pittsburgh seems very trappy. What do you like here, if anything, Mr. Ghoster?
Well, if this is a trap, I'm going deep into it, Pete, because the additions guys for Pittsburgh and their GM that they just picked up from Toronto there, Dubas, he went crazy here, Pete. He's going for it. Riley Smith, Eller, Achari, Nieto, Graves, Carlson, Pitlick. Yeah. They picked up some key pieces. Like you said, they're going to help their second line. And even Carlson, you thought Letang could feed the puck to these guys. Just wait till Carlson gets in there. Their power play is going to be a lot better. Who did they lose here? They lost Archibald, Dumoulin, Zucker, and Bonino. So this is going to be a much improved hockey team, in my opinion. It's going to be Yari, Pete. He just signed a big contract, though, 5-year, $26 million. He was okay in the preseason. Actually, not the greatest, 78 of 85 in 3 games. So the over would be kind of where I'm leaning here. It's just how the hell is Chicago going to keep up with them here? Taylor Hall, Bedard, and Donato, that's their first line. But second line's got Reichel centering it. Then Cole Gutman, Dickinson, like Corey Perry's on the 4th. They got Athanasiou on the 3rd line, Radish, John. Like they don't have enough firepower here to keep up. And then on the other side, it's going to be Mrazek going, guys, because they got a back-to-back tomorrow in Boston. Soderblom's going to be going. He's the better goalie, in my opinion, Pete, too. He's more of a younger player with much higher upside. Mrazek last 4 years, he hasn't had a save percentage over 0.906, sample size over 15 games. So 35 of 42 in the preseason. He's allowed, 7 goals in 2 games. Mrazek's going to get lit up here. So one of my guys, Langer there on Twitter, he was saying he likes the over 3.5. It's heavy juice, but I don't see how Pittsburgh doesn't just they should do what they want here, in my opinion. I got 2 plays here. I don't usually do a puck line, but I'm taking puck line new season here, plus 115 on Pittsburgh. I'm also taking a bit of a same game parlay, you could say, guys. I'm taking both teams to score 1 goal and Pittsburgh to win, Pete, in regulation at minus 110. So that's one I really like. I do see Chicago scoring at least 1 goal here, and I wanted to take this one, guys. Bedard over 2.5 shots was minus 140, because how is he? Like I said, they don't have a lot of players that can do much, so he's going to be shooting the puck. It was minus 140, now minus 180. That was overnight. It just went up a lot this morning. So I'm going to stay off that. I leaned to him over a point, minus 140, but we'll just wait and see, because you're playing a veteran team in Pittsburgh. They're looking at Bedard. If you just look at their lineup, Bedard's going to be the guy they're going to try and shut down for sure. Let someone else try and beat you there. So I think Pittsburgh get it done here. Even throw it in a money line parlay. I would be highly surprised with all their additions. Bedard, it's going to be a tough game, and with Mrazek too. If anything, I might look at Chicago tomorrow night. That might be where I might look at him.
Hell of a breakdown, Gogi. Yeah, I like that. Pittsburgh to win in regulation, and the Blackhawks not to get shut out at minus 110. That's not bad, Gogi.
Yeah,
that's not bad at all.
That's the one that stood out. The puck line's the one I added just because I see them scoring 4 goals, and I see a hard time believing that Chicago's going to even get 3 on them here. And with Carl, I expect Pittsburgh to do what they want here. And with that game under their belt, Boston, they're a completely different team with Bergeron gone. So if anything, maybe a Chicago first period could be a sneaky play tomorrow. That's kind of where I'm looking here.
And but you don't really like the Pens team total over 3.5 at minus 145. That's a steep price for a 3.5 over. But what's your take on that in general? Your feelings?
I kind of their defense is a little bit better than Zeth Jones, Connor Murphy, though Tenorti's on the Alex Vlasic, Konorski is a young guy I'm not too sure of. So this is just a team that they got the big player, but let's see who else gets to step up with them. Like Connor Bedard is going to make all these players better, especially Hall and Donato on their line. But just how are they going to get the rest of the offense? Like that second, third, fourth line, that's all Pittsburgh, and I think heavy. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, how the Chicago team looks. But what I'm seeing on paper, I don't think they won't be the worst team in the league, but it's going to be a tough task. I think this Pittsburgh team is one of the most improved teams this year, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Andrew G says, Pitt coming in waves, should be fun. Building's going to be rocking tonight. Control your vessel. Pens have been stale the last 4 years. Completely revamped roster. Going to score a lot of goals. All right, I will. It's a bit of a tough line, but I'll take the Pens team total over 3.5 minus 145 as an official play. I'll add that one to my card and I'll bet it. Pens team total over 3.5 minus 145. It's opening night. It should be going against Bedard with an improved roster. They should come to play and blow them out. But if that's the case, then you probably just want to take like the Pens -1 or minus 1.5, because what are they going to lose, like 5-4, win the team total over and then lose the game? Is that possible? Exactly. Blackhawks come in and put up 5 on them?
That I have a hard time seeing that. That's the only way that they're going to win this game. I don't think that Mrazek's good enough to win a 2-1 game. And one more thing, Pete, Pittsburgh, they were kind of coming into the preseason. They were kind of, 1 goal here, 1 goal there. Then their last game of the season against Buffalo, they were down 3-1 the second period. They ended up winning that game 7-4, and that was with pretty much all their starters back in the lineup. Same with Buffalo. Buffalo had Levy in net, and Levy and Mrazek, I think, are in the same kind of sphere, as you could say. So Pittsburgh coming off that 7-goal performance, 3 nights ago too. I think they're ready for Chicago. So. Right.
Or maybe a race to 3 or something. All right, let's move on to the final NHL game, Mr. Gokster. Seattle and Vegas. Vegas, of course, won the Stanley Cup last year, and now they're coming in. They're gonna hoist the banner and all that. And I guess we usually want to fade those kinds of teams. They're a decent-sized favorite here, a pretty big favorite in the minus 160s. And Seattle, no slouch last year, made the playoffs. They've got, Benier and Jared McCann, a bunch of guys who could score. I don't know. Do we maybe like Seattle here, getting a big dog line, going into Vegas, hoisting the banner?
It's kind of been a bit of a trend here, Pete. The teams that have won the Cup, they haven't necessarily been winning their first game out. Especially the goaltenders. I might as well jump right into it right now. I did a deep dive here, guys, looking at the goalies that come off of a Stanley Cup win, how they do in their first game back. So last year it was Kemper. He allowed 4 goals against Boston when he was playing with Washington. They lost that game. The year before that, Vasilevsky, first game back after winning the Cup, they allowed 3 goals to Pittsburgh. And then 2000, Vasilevsky did win 1 goal against. But then 2019, Pete Binnington, same thing, allowed 3 goals, lost to Washington. So these goalies, they come in a little bit lax, I guess you could say, after the Stanley Cup win. And with Seattle, we all saw how their offense was. They're deep with their lineup. Burakovsky, they're healthy too. Tolvanen, he's just had an unbelievable preseason. This is a good hockey team. I was really high on them last year. They added Yamamoto from Edmonton, Belmire, and Dumoulin from Pittsburgh. They lost Donskoy, Donato, Jones, Susi, True, and Sprong. So they lost a couple players there, but they also signed Vince Dunn to an extension of a contract. They also signed their backup goalie there, Decord. So Grubauer, he's an older goalie too, Pete. He's going to have to play like he did in the playoffs there, how Seattle made that push in the playoffs last year. So this is a tough game. He looked okay in the preseason, Grubauer. Hill, on the other hand, he allowed 4 goals twice to the LA Kings. Mm-hmm. So he's, Aiden Hill, no one knew who the hell he was. He was playing with the Manitoba Moose, half the AHL teams, and he came in because of the injuries there to Logan Thompson and whatnot last year for Vegas. So I think there can be some goals here. And with the Stanley Cup being lifted, I was talking about the stats there, these goalies, how they seem to struggle after a Stanley Cup win. For me, I'm taking a bit of a plus price here. If you guys watched the show last year and years past, I love my first period, both teams to score, Pete. That's where I'm going here, brother. Plus 170. I think that line's pretty damn high. Yeah, plus 170. Shop around for that, guys. Seattle, they can score. And with these 2 goalies, they're not on the upper echelon, in my opinion. And we have strong offenses here. No real additions from Vegas, but they didn't really lose anybody other than Kolasar. I believe here. So, or no, sorry, Kessler, that was it. So he didn't do much. Look for some goals here. I don't have a strong play after the first period. I think maybe Seattle can win this game, but I would take the over 6 too, if anything, Pete. Look for goals in this last game.
Yeah, I will make an official play. Seattle, team total over 2.5 minus 127. That's the current line at Heritage. Pinnacle has 128. I think you're right. I think that, not necessarily sure that Seattle is a good bet to win the game outright, although I would take them there as with a free play, but I'm definitely going to add Seattle team total over 2.5 minus 127 as an official play for me. And this line has gotten bet down a bit. It was, earlier this morning or on the overnight, it was in the minus 160s. Now it's down into the minus 150s. It's moved about 15 cents in Seattle's favor, which is pretty interesting. Also, the Nashville game, I didn't mention that either, but a similar situation, about a 15-cent move in favor of Nashville as a dog. So that's pretty. And the Pittsburgh game has just gone the other way, about a 25-cent move in favor of Pittsburgh. It's now up to 244.
People just heard the show. They heard the breakdown. Everyone heard the breakdown. They're like,
maybe I'll add on Pittsburgh minus 1 or 1.5 to my card. All right. So, but go ahead.
That's my favorite play on the card, Pete, is Pittsburgh here. This Kraken game, in the preseason, they played Edmonton twice, which is never easy. I know McDavid was playing too. They didn't score much against Vancouver. They've been playing some tougher preseason opponents, I would say, guys, than Vegas. But this is a tough game. It really is. I actually have two, Pete. Seattle team total over 2.5, minus 128 last night written down. And now that you're on it, I almost want to take it with you here. I do think it can hit. One thing about Seattle, everyone was down on them last year. I'm not sure everyone's really high on Seattle this year. I want to see how they looked these first 5 games, because in this preseason they didn't really do anything that really wowed me coming in. And Vegas with that Stanley Cup, it's not going to be an easy task for Seattle tonight, but I do expect there to be goals here in this game.
All right, so I'll add on to my card. What the hell? I'll take Pittsburgh, but I'm going to be super safe. You know how my psychological makeup is. Pittsburgh minus 1, minus 163. Current line at Pinnacle. Pittsburgh minus 1, minus 163. Let's look at the comment section quickly to see what anyone might be able to give us in terms of enlightenment. Let's see. Yeah, North Ender says Kraken regression season. So you think that the hype for Seattle might be in the opposite direction?
It was like a stock, Pete. This was the stock for Seattle, and then all of a sudden it went way up, and now I think it's going to regress a little bit here, to be honest. I do, especially with Drew Bauer. It'll be tough.
Razor Sharp Picks likes the first period over 1.5 minus 115 for the Vegas Seattle game. Let's see. Other comments. Looking at this. Let's see. FanDuel boosting the Kraken money line. That's all you need to know to fade Kraken here. That's what Billy Friedrich says. Yeah, I don't think it's an auto play to fade every team in their first game after winning the cup, right? That's not an auto play, is it? Or we would know that by now.
No, it's not an auto play, but looking at these numbers, like dating back 4 years, that's not a huge sample size, but in this last 4 years of hockey, they've lost. The Stanley Cup team has lost, and it's gone over the total. So, but with Vegas and just Seattle, I don't know. I just don't like what I saw. It was the preseason, but if you haven't really figured out in the preseason, it's not going to be tough in this. It's going to be tough for Seattle going into Vegas tonight. That's how I feel, guys. And Nashville could be the dog. More I'm thinking about it, that could be the dog tonight. New coach, completely revamp this roster. I like the additions to Tyson Barrie, O'Reilly, some veteran presence names, and this Johansson. How's he going to do? He looked great in the preseason, but small sample size with Colorado. We'll see what happens. I do like the under, though, first period there.
All right. Well, Sammy Calmer likes the Kraken first period money line, and Dan Bonner says Kraken first period money line all day for me. Wow. And Fly White Mike, I like the Kraken in the first period. They come out fired up, and Vegas still celebrating. Yeah, maybe I'll bet that one as well, but I'm not gonna add it right now. But that might be a great play. That may be the best play of the card. Seattle first period on the money line, getting a small dog line. All right, let's review our NHL picks. Mr. Goetzer, thanks so much. Of course, we'll be seeing you every Tuesday, I think, with much bigger cards in the upcoming weeks. I'm going to take a shot. Might be a mistake. Nashville, Tampa Bay, under 6.5, minus 108. I'll go with Pittsburgh to roll tonight. -1, minus 163. And the team total over 3.5, minus 145. Although maybe like race to 3 with a better price is a better way to go in that one. And Seattle, team total over 2.5, minus 127 will round out my card. Although, again, Seattle first period money line and a dog line might be the better bet. Mr. Goetzer, please review your official plays, please.
All righty there, Pistol. So I'm on Nashville, Tampa Bay, first period under 1.5, plus 120. Chicago, Pittsburgh, both teams to score 1 goal, and Pittsburgh to win. This is in regulation, minus 110. Pittsburgh also on the puck line, plus 115, Pistol. And then Seattle, Vegas, both teams to score at a juicy plus 170. But I do like what Razor Sharp Pick said, just minus 115 on that first period over 1.5. So thank you so much, Pete. Everyone in the chat, too, guys. Kick-ass job.
Mr. Goetzer, thanks so much. We'll see you next week. Thank you. Hell yeah. I'm ready for the NHL. I'm ready for the NHL, baby. Jose Bouquet, pop back in here. You want to do MLB now or college football?
Let's knock out the MLB. We can do this rather quickly. There's 2 games. I think they're straightforward. Let's find out, but we'll find.
Okay, let's start with it. First game on the card, Houston, Minnesota, right? Minnesota, a modest favorite, around minus 130. Total is 8. Haven't checked to see if it's moved, but that's what it was when I did the cap. Javier against Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray's really been rolling. Javier, last start, excellent. Before that, though, he was getting hit a bit. Series tied 1-1. It's going to be a relatively cold game here, I believe. Temperatures in the 50s. And my thought would be, I saw that Justin McElvey likes the Houston team total over. My thought on this one, I'm not sure I'd want to pull the trigger on Minnesota as a favorite, but under 8, probably a nice little play there. What do you think, Jose Bouquet? What's your take on this game?
Yeah, I actually am on the under 8 already, Pete. So there's a good synergy by us. This is the most important Twins game in fucking, I don't know how long, since, again, like 2004, I think people were saying. Like, this is a gigantic game, and before the series, I said if I had more balls, I would have bet the Twins to win the series. The Astros struggled at home all year. They lost a game at home, obviously. So I think it's going to be interesting. But the Astros, again, have just been really, really good on the road. But that Twins environment, I think they know Sonny Gray's been good. Christian Javier has kind of been up and down all day, or all year, I should say. I just don't feel comfortable enough betting them at a favorite price. I think you're right. So I bet the under because, like I said, this is going to be the intense playoff baseball that you read about in the newspaper.
Sure. I'll add that to my official card as well. Under 8, minus 110 is the current line at Pinnacle. Let's see. Comments coming in. Nate Dogg, Houston money line and run line leans over 8. Robert Franklin likes the under. Okay. So, and once again, the Justin McElvey stacks play of the day, team total over for the Houston Astros. But the stacks play of the day record that he posts after that is 76 and 84. Yeah, I'm going to take the under. If it loses, that's fine. Certainly not a lock, but I think probably a small percentage play. Jose Bouquet.
What a drive-by shooting! You just drove by and just shot Justin McElvey down right there. Sheesh.
Yeah. He posted it. You know, I don't know what the stacks play of the day record is. I'd assume it was good. Even if it's 76 and 84, I mean, my overall records are shitty. Still think people should listen to what I have to say about various things in various situations. Not necessarily blindly tail, but I'm the patron saint of people with shitty public records, Jose Bouquet. All right, let's move on to the next game. Yep.
Pete, real quick, I have the market for the baseball games here real fast. 75.
Okay, yeah. Shout it out.
75% of the bets and 76% of the money on the Twins. So that's pretty surprising, honestly. I don't know why everyone jumping on the Twins bandwagon there, but we agree with the lean of the Astros, I guess. And then totals wise here in this game, 75% of the bets and 98% of the money on the under. Jesus. That's not ideal.
Okay. There you go. Right. Chill it, dog, Dooley. Like Sonny Gray over 14.5 outs. That not be a bad play right there at all. Yeah, I mean, Sonny Gray has been absolutely rolling and dealing. Is there any reason to believe that he won't have another excellent game here?
I like them. Like I said, I think the Twins are very alive to win this series. They just have to win one of these two games. If they bring it back to Houston, I like their odds winning at games 5, I should say, in Houston.
Okay. Jake Burns, yeah, Astros play so much better on the road at plus 122. Got to take Astros. All right, I'm going to hold off on the side. I'm going to take the under with Jose Bouquet. Next game, here we go. Baltimore, Texas. Kramer against Eovaldi. Texas is up 2-zip. I'm sorry, go ahead.
This is a huge game. I'm a Baltimore guy all year, and it just kills me here.
Yeah, I mean, Nathan Eovaldi was struggling and then had an awesome 8 strikeout start in his last game, which I believe our own Sharpie called, like the Eovaldi strikeouts over prop in that game, even though Eovaldi had been struggling for a bunch of starts to close out the regular season. Last game at Tampa Bay, not an easy team to shut down. Eovaldi absolutely shut him down. Kramer hasn't pitched since September. Last start was fine. In general, he's been pretty good. He had his duds in the regular season here and there, but overall, a pretty reliable pitcher, I think. And now Baltimore is a dog here. The total is 9. This game scares me, but free play, before I hear what you have to say, Jose Bouquet, of course I'd take Baltimore as a dog. What do you like here, Jose, if anything?
Yeah, I mean, gun to head, I'm picking a side. I'm obviously picking Baltimore here. I think there's just a lot of pressure, I guess, on the young guys at home, et cetera, et cetera. Now I think maybe getting away down at 0-2, like pressure's off now. Like, hopefully they can go out there and just play baseball. And, the pitchers cannot be so shitty because they ended up scoring some runs in their last game. So the bats are alive. I think the pitching just needs to come through, and the starting pitching just has not been as crisp as you wanted it to be, for sure. And I love Nathan Eovaldi. He's a postseason demon. He's right up there with Zach Wheeler, who can just, postseason comes on, he starts pitching extremely well. So it's a dicey game. And like someone said in this chat, Billy Friedrich saying Dean Kramer has family in Israel. I believe in the baseball gods. I think he has a good start today as well. So I yet again took the under in this game, Pete. I took the under 9 here. Market in this game real quick for that money line in total. 53% of the bets, 68% of the money on the Rangers there. I wish the Orioles would come through here, but 48% of the bets and 74% of the money on the under here as well. So you can say sharp bets on the under there. So I'm excited to watch this game. I'll be rooting for the Orioles, but I think this is another just tight postseason game that you read about in the newspaper. Why am I taking first or full game and not first 5? I guess I don't have a particularly good reason for it. I guess I should take first 5 as well, but I'm on the full game under.
And so you're a believer in Eovaldi here, not worried about the last start being maybe anomalous in some way.
I'm not, honestly, and there's a lot of familiarity, obviously, with Eovaldi as well. Obviously, former Red Sox as well. And then I'm sorry to whoever. Someone said in the chat like a couple months ago that their least favorite word that I say is obviously, and I just dropped it like 4 times there. So apologies for whoever that is. But it's looking at their at bats against him right now on Baseball Savant. Cedric Mullins has seen him 30 times, 8 hits, no home runs, 10 strikeouts. There's not really, Austin Hayes 320 and 25 at bats, but no home runs, only 1 home run and 143 plate appearances against Eovaldi. So I lean towards the under. Well, I don't lean towards it. I bet the under, I should say. And I probably should be on first 5, but I think I'm just sticking out with full game.
All right, yeah, I'm an inch away from taking Baltimore +1 minus 115. But people are saying the Texas is going to be playing looser. Is the pressure now on Baltimore and Kramer and everyone? And you've got like a team that's up 2-zip. Eovaldi with confidence and playoff, experience. Maybe Baltimore isn't the auto play that they might seem at first.
I think it's going to be a very fun game. I'll tell you that. It's just scary to bet against Nathan Eovaldi in the postseason. I've watched it too many times, and maybe I've got a vividness bias, as our friend Jimmy the Bag would say, with Eovaldi. But I think after watching the last week or so of baseball, Pete, I just think it's just a general, just bet the underdogs, I don't think there's any point in laying the juice here for any teams, because both of these teams are, at this point, you can say, very good. They're both postseason teams. They're both equally motivated to win the or playoff games, et cetera, et cetera. So why lay juice? Just take the underdogs and run. I mean, just look at the Diamondbacks series, we thought that the Diamondbacks would probably get rolled over, but if you just bet the Diamondbacks, you're feeling great right now, So I think you just should bet all the underdogs here and roll, but I'm on the unders here for both games.
All right. Fly White Mike on Rangers and Eovaldi first 5 money line. Nate Dogg, 420. Eovaldi over strikeouts and the Texas money line. Wow, people really liking Texas here. Tongue-tied, 89. Rangers to bat in the bottom of the ninth. No at plus 100. Wow, not bad call there. Robert Franklin, finally someone on the over. He likes the over 9. I'm going to pass on this one. I'm going to hold off on this one. Baltimore might get swept after the year they had, and now they come in here in the situation. I'm going to hold off, but I hope you cash. Jose Bouquet, once again, I'm on Houston, Minnesota, under 8 minus 110. And Jose, you're on the under in both games, right, Jose?
Yes, I'm on the under in both games. Pete, did you have any thoughts on the other two series? Dodgers are down 2-0, and now we've got 1-1 and Braves.
Not that I can talk about right now. If you want to talk about them, we can, but
well, I just find it shocking. The Dodgers are down, 2-0, and now they're throwing Lance Lynn out there to save the season. So, good luck out there to Dodgers fans. And I said that the Braves would sweep the Phillies. So, I feel like the Braves pulled that game out of their ass last night. It was incredible. The Phillies really blew it. But it's obviously their postseason recipe all year last year was win one game on the road and don't lose at home. So we'll see if that ends up coming through. But yeah, no bets on them so far. But the lines are out: Elder versus Nola, and it is Fott versus Lance Lynn. So.
Yeah, no, I mean Arizona's been one of those scrappy, run generating teams under the radar, stealing bases and stuff like that all year long. So it's not a huge shock. I mean, we know about how MLB. That's why I don't really focus too much on the MLB postseason, because there's so much variance. People change up their strategies for the short series, and it's pretty unpredictable. I think you're right. Just take dogs and lean under. Is just kind of like the blind thing to do. All right, Jose Bouquet. That's it for MLB. Now we got 3 college football games right now on the card. You mind staying staying on screen with me while I talk about this and just everything that I say? Go, yeah, sounds good. I guess, yeah. No, I trust you, Pete. I trust you, Pete. Sounds good what you just said. I trust you, Pete. I'm going to work on my impression of you, Jose Bouquet. All right, first game on the card, Louisiana Tech, Middle Tennessee. Middle Tennessee, a 3-point favorite. I took Middle Tennessee -3. Of course, Middle Tennessee has an extra rest day. It's a short week for both of them. Louisiana Tech, a very impressive team, and they might be getting their expected starter for the year, senior quarterback Hank Bachmeier, back in the lineup. Although it seems like they're probably, I don't know, I think they could have played him last week and they stuck with the replacement, who's been okay, kind of a game manager. Not exactly sure what they're going to do here, but again, it's a short week, shorter week for Louisiana Tech. Middle Tennessee, overall on the year, has been worse than Louisiana Tech, but their last game they got beat down, but they lost a turnover battle in that one, so I think they're maybe not quite as bad as people might think at first glance, looking over how these teams have done this year. Historically, Louisiana Tech, of course, has been the better team, and probably on a neutral site, I would rate them as a slightly better again this year, and depending on who's at quarterback. But Middle Tennessee's quarterback has been very productive. Getting a lot of yards. There were just a bunch of turnovers in the last game that kind of screwed Middle Tennessee, but he put up a bunch of yards. Louisiana Tech statistically has a very strong pass defense, which is the big issue. He'll have to be productive against that pass defense, and he might not be. But I bet Middle Tennessee here -3. Hasn't been a real line move either way. We'll see what it is by kickoff. But once again, I'm trusting myself here a little bit more than I was in weeks past. And Middle Tennessee -3 is going to be an official play for me at Pinnacle right now. It's -105, and I'll just take that line. Middle Tennessee -3. minus 105. If I wanted to be safe, maybe I'd take the money line at 149, but I'll just take a -3. People were talking about the total on this one. Some people suggesting over. My lean would be to the under at at 54 or 54.5. And it could go either way. Two good passing offenses here in theory, so I can understand why people would like the over. But again, I think the strongest unit, I don't know if it's the strongest unit, but Louisiana Tech's pass defense is impressive and formidable. So they'll probably have a good performance again. Let's look at the comment section, see if anyone agrees or disagrees with what I said. Let's see. BJ, I agree. Middle Tennessee -2.5. If you got that line, very nice. I'm on Middle Tennessee. Control your vessel. I'm on Tech. Middle Tennessee have been very disappointing this year. Yeah, they have. They have been disappointing this year, and I'm just willing to bet that we'll see a reversal of form in that capacity. But yeah, absolutely, they've been a bit disappointing this year. No question about that. Billy Friedrich. Let's see. Yeah, common opponent has been Western Kentucky, and Louisiana Tech lost less than Middle Tennessee did. Absolutely. That's something that, you can look at. I wouldn't go blindly following stuff like that, but you can definitely look at it. Dabby Cap says, I want to know if Brockmeyer's playing or not. Middle Tennessee won't stop Louisiana Tech. I think the over might be the best bet. Yeah, I don't know if he's playing, Dabby. I'm assuming that I really actually don't know. Maybe on the short week. I have no idea. I know that he's ready to play. I don't know what they'll actually wind up doing, but, there we go. Ron Crawford, check this out. Jose Bouquet, MLB spreadsheet play of the day, Texas, -135. Wow. Okay. DC Capper like Louisiana Tech +3. Yeah, it's definitely a defensible play. I can certainly understand that, and that's why the line is so low. Yeah, I might be wrong. Here we go again. Resting myself. I'm going to stick with it. And DC Capper likes the over at 53.5.
The market kind of agrees with you, Pete. Only 23% of the bets on the -3, but 48% of the money on the -3 there in Middle Tennessee. So the market kind of agrees with you there, at least.
No, I like the play. I'm going to stick with it, but I can certainly understand the argument for the other side. All right, the next game on the card is Coastal Carolina against Appalachian State. Appalachian State, about a 5-point favorite right now. Total is in the mid to low 60s. It's been bouncing around. Big Sun Belt rivalry here, and Coastal. I took Coastal Carolina here, although I got a little bit of a better line. But I was also leaning over, and it's concerning that the total has gotten bet down since I looked at it. It's now down to a 61. Both these teams have big, productive offenses that should score against each other. It just has, going down to the last drives written all over it. So in that case, I would want to take Coastal Carolina getting that many points. The Coastal Carolina is a different kind of team this year. Of course, in the past they were running all sorts of like weird option offenses, and now they got a new head coach, and they've got a quarterback, McCall, who was supposed to be better than what we've seen from him so far. We'll need him to be a little bit improved in this game, which he might be. Of course, Appalachian State is an impressive team, which is why they're a big favorite here. So I'm going to take a shot with Coastal Carolina here, and I'll also be leaning over Jose Bouquet. Can you look into the market and see why this total has gotten bet down? Because that confuses me a little bit. I would have expected it to have gotten bet over, if anything.
Well, it's Jose 80% Bouquet of the bets and 53% of the money on the over in this game. Very interestingly enough, and like you said, 20. So only 20% of the bets, but 47% of the money on the under there.
Yeah, I mean it is a high total, of course, and it is a primetime game, so they'll be focusing hard on this one. I'm going to take. I did bet Coastal Carolina, got a little bit of a better line than what we're seeing right now. I'm seeing 5 -105, but I'll make that an official play anyway. Coastal Carolina +5 -105. That's the current line of Pinnacle. There's probably some 5.5s bouncing around, but I won't line shop for those. I'll just take the Pinnacle line. Do the ballsy thing there. Let's see what does Heritage have here? Anyone in the comments section, Jose Bouquet, while I line chop a little bit, agreeing or disagreeing with me? What's going on here? Someone making fun of me?
No. Justin McElvey just returned and caught your shots post-mortem here. So it was very funny.
The shot. He posted. Oh, and here we go. Yes. Heritage has 5.5 -108. So we'll take that one. Coastal Carolina +5.5 -108. No, look, Justin McElvey. your stacks play of the day might not have that great of a record. A better record than my record, Justin McElvey. Better record than mine. So,
oh man,
hell yeah! Shout out to Justin McElvey. Ron Crawford says not laying points with bad defensive teams. Coastal plus 5.5. Yeah, Robert Franklin leans under 60.5. Control your Vestal leaning Coastal. North Ender, I like the under a bit. Billy Friedrich Coastal plus 5.5. It's 106 at Bookmaker. Thank you so much, Billy Friedrich. Yeah, I mean, this one has going down to the wire written all over it. And I'm not exactly sure why it's such a big dog line, but I felt that way about a bunch of games this past week in college football. And I turned out to be right on most of them. So
32%
I'll take that
of the
one.
bets and 61% of the money on Coastal here, Pete. 32% of the bets and 61% of the money.
Yeah, we're gonna need Grayson McCall to come to play and to show up to improve a little bit. And the Appalachian State quarterback is tough too. He's hard to sack. He's a scrambler. He's a JUCO transfer. He makes shit happen. So I don't like to bet against that, but I will take a shot with Coastal Carolina plus the points. Then we have Liberty at Jacksonville State, third game on the card. Again, short week. Jacksonville State, one extra rest day, and Liberty has absolutely been rolling. They've been a big favorite in a bunch of their games this year. I've bet against them in spots and gotten burned doing that. So Liberty, impressive team that I feel nervous betting against. But this one, I was leaning Jacksonville State and the under, but this one also, the total has gotten bet way up, which makes me nervous. I was thinking that the under and Jacksonville State were the plays. Liberty, of course, is a very slow playing team. They play a lot of seconds per play, and Jacksonville State kind of the opposite. But Liberty has a strong enough defense that I think they'll be able to impose their will as far as the game pace is concerned a little bit more on Jacksonville State. So I was leaning under. That was when it was at 56, though. Now it's all the way up to like 59 or something. And also leaning Jacksonville State plus the points, although that makes me nervous. Betting against Liberty has been a terrible thing to do. Jacksonville State did benefit from turnovers in their last game, in their win against Middle Tennessee. And Liberty has just been, covering against everyone. They didn't cover in their last game, but that was a special situation, low-scoring game where they were, a big favorite. So it's understandable why they didn't cover that spread necessarily. And they're an impressive team. I don't know. Maybe I'll pass on this one. I was thinking under is the way to go. DC Capper likes Jacksonville State. Plus 6, control your vessel if you can get a 7. I'll be on Jacksonville State. It does seem like it's getting, look at this. I'm sure you can find a 7 because right now it's minus 6.5, minus 114 for Liberty at Pinnacle. So the money right now, or at least the market right now, is definitely moving strongly in Liberty's favor. A total all the way up to 59. A little bit juiced to the under. I might pull the trigger on that one. It might come down by kickoff, though. My numbers like the under here. Let's see what people have to say. And then I'll make a decision here. Robert Franklin likes Liberty first half. Darren Turner likes Liberty first half. Wow. Billy Friedrich, I went poo safe, and I bought the hook on 7 for Jacksonville State, minus 130. Man, yeah. I was leaning J State, but Liberty is scary to bet against, and the market is now moving in their favor. Shout out to Justin McElvey. Funny as hell, dude. Let's see, Billy Friedrich. I like Appalachian State second half. You know what? I'm gonna take the under. We'll see where this line closes, but I'm gonna take the under. It's 59 minus 114 at Pinnacle. Let me see where it is at Heritage right now. Jose Bouquet, you want to maybe say something like, "Yeah, I mean, sounds good, Loshak. I hope you cash." You want to say something like that?
Well, no, I'll tell you the market. I think your impersonation is getting even better, Pete. I think if you just keep doing it, it'll just keep growing.
All right. Yeah. I mean,
it has to
if
be
you
more.
Say it's getting better. It probably is. Yeah.
Yeah, I sound like Lois Griffin, so it just needs a little more nasal. 52% of the bets and 74% of the money on the under in this game. Jacksonville State, Liberty, and on the spread here, 61% of the bets and 57% of the money on Liberty there. So it's been a weird line, like you mentioned, but
yeah. All right. Well, I'll take the Pinnacle line under 59 minus 114. A bunch of other places have a 58.5. There's probably some places that have 59 minus 110. But and Billy Friedrich, thank you for your feedback on my Jose impression. Billy Friedrich saying, Pete, add a little more mumble, like 12% more mumble, and you got it. Thank you very much, Billy Friedrich. I will literally be in a mirror trying to mumble more trying to improve my Jose impression as much as possible. Thank you very much, Billy Friedrich. Man, this is, why did this, there's a lot of U-shaped line movement that can, you don't want to get, and there's some market manipulation that goes on sometimes as well. So you don't want to overreact to movements that could be head fakes here and there, or explanations that you aren't aware of. I'm going to take the under 59 minus 114 Liberty and Jacksonville State. Hopefully Liberty's defense can slow things down a little bit. So those are my 3 plays on the card. Middle Tennessee -3 minus 105. Coastal Carolina +5.5 minus 106. And Liberty Jacksonville State under 59 minus 114. I think they're solid. I think at least 2 of them win. I'm good with those plays, Jose Bouquet.
I wish you luck. I like Coastal, the Coastal App State bet the most. There, I'll tell you that. And by the way, Justin McElveen, shout to Razor. I love your dig there as well. Acknowledged Razor. Justin McElveen saying he's booking his Pubapalooza 3 reservations on Monday, Pete. So that's a reminder to you, Pete. Pubapalooza 3, you have to book your shit too, Pete.
What are the dates?
They're coming down. End of March, Pete. The last weekend of March. So,
but you don't know the exact dates.
29th through the 1st, I guess, of April. So that's Thursday, I guess, technically. So Thursday, 28th, and then you can go to April 1st.
So it starts on Thursday?
Starting is all relative, Pete. It's where you begin in life, really. But sure.
I hear you. All right, Jose Bouquet, thank you so much for everything. I'm just going to review all of my plays right now, and thank you everyone from the comment section for commenting on everything that they commented on and helped us with. And Jose Bouquet, I'm going to review my plays. I'm going to let's see. Okay, so here we go. I've got in NHL, Nashville, Tampa Bay under 6.5 minus 108. Pittsburgh Penguins -1 minus 163, and the team total over 3.5 minus 145, and Seattle Kraken team total over 2.5 minus 127. I'm taking Houston, Minnesota under 8 minus 110 in MLB. In college football, Middle Tennessee -3 minus 105, Coastal Carolina +5.5 minus 106, and Liberty Jacksonville State under 59 minus 114. The spreadsheet play of the day from Ron Crawford is the Texas Rangers. Very interesting, predicting a sweep there of Texas over Baltimore. And the Stacks play of the day, overall record 76-84, but we don't know what the odds for those plays were, is the Houston Astros team total over 3.5 from Justin McElveen. Jose Bouquet, what's going on this week at Pub Sports Radio?
Well, some people are making their Pubapalooza reservations, so always keep in mind of that. Like we say, the last weekend of March is going to be a lot of fun. Good old Jimmy the Bag and Troy Torrance back again tonight as well. Bankroll Blitz, your first look at the NFL slate. You've got the college football videos already cut up, so if you're interested in more college football, of course, go watch those. Bo Bano and Connor Mack break down the games as well. I forgot what they're on already, Pete, so you can go check your those as well and make sure, maybe it'll give you a little more feel good in your tummy, or maybe it'll do the opposite. Maybe it'll make you more anxious. Who knows? It's going to be very fun. So tune in then. And of course, just stick around because every day we'll be back here at 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern, whether it be Jimmy, whether it be Pete, whether it be whoever. We'll be here, Pub Sports Radio. Just tune in right around now, and we'll have something going for you.
All right, great. And I'll just put a bow on this by saying, as Jose Bouquet might say, sounds great. Hope all your bets cash, guys.